Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is really great honor for me to moderate this session during this IMFW forum. It sounds like IMF forum, but we will not talk about money. We will talk about beauty, creativity, luxury, and rediscovery of Turkey. While we are Turks still discovering of Turkey, and the whole theme of this event are amazing. When I am offered to moderate 2 sessions today, it was my pleasure. This year, I am celebrating my 30th year in the luxury hospitality industry, 15 years as hotel managers in luxury hotels, and 15 years event and wedding organizer. And I would really thank to the leadership team of Inventum Global, Fuat, Bünyat, Asil. This is a great effort, and this is a big teamwork. This is a big army behind this. And all the sponsors, local authorities, everybody, you participated. This is really great, ladies and gentlemen, because there is one big team. We have to support each other. And really, I want a big applause for Inventum, made it possible with all the participants. And a couple of years ago, McKinsey company came to me, and the country manager, Mehmet, the Turkish country, Cantekin, Istanbul is chosen for the directors' conference. But you have to offer such a gala dinner venue that nobody else can do a similar event before. For 800 people, gentlemen, and this was a McKinsey company. I offered open-air prison and historical Galata Bridge to do an event. At the end, they chose the Galata Bridge, and they stayed at Kempinski, Four Seasons, Ritz-Carlton. Fairmont was not there at that time. And this event has been chosen the most successful directors event of McKinsey. I discovered my city. My client pushed me. Together with the demand of my client, I discovered my city. So, as ancient Romans expressed, ex orient lux. How the ancient Romans expressed it? From the east hails the light. It was the light that beckoned them to untold riches, to dashing deeds. It was the lure of lustrous gold and exotic spices in bustling bazaars, and lustful nights in halls of silk and velvet. It was the luxe that lent its essence to luxury. Ex-Orient Deluxe is what we offer with Turkey. A journey to Bosphorus and to Asia Minor, the dream destination of every prominent figure you read about in history. Excursion of breathtaking splendor to where ancient past embraces the future, where cultures blend into each other. To modern-day Turkey, where the East meets the West and flourish. And today, again, it is great honor for us to be together with them. These 3 gentlemen, since 7 years, maybe more, have been contributing a lot to Turkish luxury hospitality in Turkey. Even 2 of them got married with Turkish ladies. They are our grooms. Ladies and gentlemen, first I would like to invite Kai Winkler. He is... Thank you, Kai. Please. Actually, his journey in Turkey started with Bodrum Kempinski, then continued, and he became first GM and first Fairmont in Istanbul. As you see, he is very young, but since 20 years he is serving in the luxury industry. When he came first in Bodrum, all the girls fall in love with him. Oh. And second, I would like to invite Mr. Tarek Mourad.
All right.
And Tarek journey started in 1999 at Four Seasons. He tried other countries and other chains, but he ended up in being the general manager of 2 Four Seasons in Istanbul. He's a passionate guy. He's doing a lot. And welcome, Tarek.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Our last one is the youngest one, Mr. Radtke. Since 45 years, he has been serving in luxury industry worldwide in 15 countries.
Thank you.
Welcome. And really, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, these 3 gentlemen have done a lot. And when I asked them to be with us today, they didn't ask me twice. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So, Kai, we will start with you. Actually, when you were first appointed in this position in Bodrum, tell us your feeling and what you have done so far. What did you see as change in Turkey?
Well, I think it's 6 years ago that I came to Turkey, and I have the advantage to having worked on one hand in resort hotels, and on the other hand now, just lately, adding a new luxury hotel to Istanbul with the Fairmont Hotel that just opened 1.5 years ago. So it's very interesting to see, of course, the differences. However, Bodrum, already an experienced luxury destination, and then Fairmont, on the other hand, complementing this with Istanbul. I think it's overall the country is very hospitality experienced. It's a tourism country, and I think you overall see this in the attention, in the way of people are delivering service, and I think that's what it makes a great destination. It's the people that make it, I think.
Yes, thank you. And Tarek, Four Seasons Istanbul always described as the luxurious prison of the world. And when you first started in 1999, till now, could you please tell us your experiences about rediscovering Turkey?
It started in a prison, as you're saying, in Four Seasons Sultan Ahmed. I don't know if some of you knows or not, but it was a prison that was converted into an amazing boutique hotel. And when I went there, I was not so sure what to expect, but it was a wow experience because it was a prison that I never thought I would love, to stay for the rest of my life in. And not only the prison itself, but the city. It's the most amazing, passionate city I've experienced in my 35 years in the industry. Destination, the city, the people, and the Sultan Ahmed area. I don't know if you visited the Sultan Ahmed area. It's the core of magical Istanbul. So to be in one of the best boutique hotels in the world, in Sultan Ahmed, Istanbul, Turkey, it is magical and so blessed to be here, really.
But we are also hearing that there are some other Four Seasons in the pipeline in other parts of Turkey. Because, Turkey has a great potential for the luxury event organizers. What is the main reason?
But I skipped Four Seasons Bosphorus as well. So 1996 was the first Four Seasons in Sultan Ahmed. And then 2008 was the magical jewel Four Seasons Bosphorus. And in 2020, inshallah, we will have the Four Seasons Bodrum. It's a magical resort. I believe it will be the most beautiful Four Seasons resort in the world. 5 kilometers beach, 5 bays, exciting project like you cannot imagine, really. And I hope more to come so that I get more opportunities to stay longer in Turkey.
It will be our pleasure. Ralph, you have been almost completing 7 years in Istanbul, and you are also a vice president of Kempinski, also in charge of Venice Kempinski, San Clement, beautiful hotel. So what was the main reason that you stayed 7 years in Turkey?
Well, the first reason was my wife.
The best.
Yeah, that's a good reason, actually. Because, women are always deciding what man has to do.
Yes, true.
No, but... But joke apart, Istanbul was also one of the most sexy cities in the world. I think it's better than Miami, it's better than Marbella and all these very fancy places. So I love the ambience. I think it's a city which is magical, the only one which was built on 2 continents.
Yes.
And my neighbor, he's actually my neighbor.
Yes.
And you know what? He will be my neighbor also in Bodrum in our hotel.
Yeah. I can't stay away.
So, and then for sure, I mean, Shiran Palace, well, everybody knows all over the world, and we are really the, let's say, the ambassadors of Turkish hospitality in the world. I don't know any country where they don't know our hotel. And the second thing is, you were talking about marriages, right?
Yes.
Because I think marriages, we make about 80 marriages a year, on average. From these 80 marriages, we have roughly 30% comes from India, and about 60% are international weddings. Now, why would an Indian go to Turkey for a marriage?
Yes.
But that's the secret is Shiran Palace for sure in Istanbul. So no, we're very happy, and I've always, in weddings, I'm always crying because I think it's such an emotional moment when I see all the smiling faces and these people happy for one of the greatest days in their lives. And it's an emotional moment even for, I think, for the people who are organizing this kind of event.
And actually, what do you think that, what are the benefits of doing events in Turkey? In Turkey in general, in Bodrum, Antalya, Istanbul, even Cappadocia. What do you feel that? I mean, because you are hotel general managers, from the organizer's point of view, what do you see? What are the benefits?
Well, first of all, I mean, there are different reasons. For example, the Japanese go abroad to marry for not the same reasons, most probably, as the Indians or Europeans and Americans. I would say, I would say it's globally the hospitality of the people, the warmness, the friendliness. It's the experience of a country with a large history, many things to see, many things, or many places also to discover apart from the major cities, touristic destinations you have. You can always switch over. We talked this morning, I talked with somebody, Mourad Bey, about Cappadocia, for example.
Yes.
It's also a fantastic, unique place you can only find there in the world. And on the other side, we are used to the hospitality business. We know how to handle people globally in Turkey. We have very good service standards and very motivated and, let's say, hands-on people.
And also, Tarek, you know, there are lots of opportunities, there are a lot of benefits doing events in Turkey. But what do you see specifically from the, I mean, you are a foreigner. You are our groom, but you are a foreigner. But when you compare our destination with London, Dubai, because sometimes as Turkey, we are competing with other destinations naturally. So how we are convincing the client to choose Turkey for their events?
Do you have time or?
No.
No, because by the way, I really mean it. You know, if you start talking about, you know, as Ralph was saying, the destination itself and what it offers, it's quite exceptional. You know, and you know, I was reflecting back. You know, coming to Antalya this morning from Istanbul. You know, Turkey in general is so generous in its offerings. You know, the fact that you are in the heart of the world, you know, you are a bridge between the north and the south, the east and the west, you know. So the location by itself is amazing, okay, from the transportation point of view, okay. The weather is incredible. You have truly 4 seasons in the best forms from a weather point of view. Hotel, of course, yes. But so from the weather as well, okay. When you think about, you know, the competing destinations within our small globe, you know, I believe Turkey is ahead by far, with all my respect, because, you know, as I said, the location, the weather, right, the culture. You have layers of amazing cultures, one on top of the other, okay, and you cannot just come for one time to experience and to live the, you know, these cultures. And the best proof of that, the repeat business that we have in our hotels. You know, you have guests coming for 15 times, maybe 20 times, leisure travelers I'm talking about, because they are enjoying and experiencing, and every time they leave, there is so much they didn't experience, there is so much they didn't see yet, and that's why they come back again. So from the culture, from the history, and I think most important is the people. You know, when I compare Istanbul, and I was just reflecting, you know, 2 months back, you know, why I'm traveling to exciting cities in our business, you know, major cities, and still while I'm there, I'm so much, you know, missing Istanbul. And it hit me the first minute I came back that trip to the airport. You know, you have amazing nation in Turkey. It's very youthful. You know, it's very passionate. It's very optimistic. The smile is very much there. The passion is very much there. You know, you would love always to be in a destination where you get, you know, contagious happiness, smiles, passion. You know, it's exceptional. And when you think about the offerings, you know, Ralph was talking about the weddings, you know, and in our 30 plus years experience in the industry, think of the elements that you need in the destination to arrange this one lifetime magical night, okay? Your event organizers, the creative AV, the creative, you know, management of the event is out of this world and exceptional, and at the same time, unique value for money. You know, I worked in other destinations where people were spending 3 to 4 million euros just for the interior design of a ballroom, okay? And you always gauge and you always test, you know, the satisfaction and the end result through the bride and groom. In Turkey, it's exceptional. The wonders they leave with in their heart out of Turkey is exceptional. And, you know, ladies, and I think there is a good number of ladies in the hall here, the value when you come to Istanbul for shopping is amazing, the best quality, you know, you can think of at incredible prices. You know, the nightlife, you know, the food. Think about, you know, the best meal you want to have, and I assure you, you will find it in Istanbul, in the most romantic, exciting setting ever.
Yes.
So, sorry I took so much time, but it comes
Thank
from
you.
the heart, you know. Really.
We knew it before. And Kai, you know, the demand of the guests and clients are changing. They are expecting more. Technology keeps changing. So, according to this all criteria, what do you see? Where do we stand as Turks in Istanbul or Antalya or Bodrum? How do you see us?
Well, I think, of course, there were certain hiccups in the past, but it's very nice to see that the demand is coming back to the city. I think we just talked, we all had a very good start of the year, and I think that is very nice to see that there's trust coming back, not only into the city, also into the country. And of course, we have a shift in terms of nationalities, but I think that is also all right because other people also want to experience the city. And if I look back into my times, because you touched Bodrum also, we were hosting also Indian weddings at the Bodrum Hotel. And I think you have in not only Bodrum or, I mean, in the holiday destinations, but even if you go to Istanbul even more, I mean, you have fantastic ground services. I think all the partners we're working together, they're very experienced for big functions, for big congresses, for big events. We have unique opportunities in terms of function spaces, in terms of event spaces. And I think this is rarely compatible with some other destinations. I mean, the variety and the choice Istanbul offers, and then paired not only with us, we also have other competitors to host those kind of functions. I think that is quite unique.
Yes, and as you know, ladies and gentlemen, also Mandarin and Peninsula will be coming to Istanbul by 2020 or by 2021. So really, for the luxury clientele, Istanbul will be the maybe only city having all these luxury chains in one city. But Antalya, with new hotels, new approach, look how this organization has been done so professionally. It is only the third year. Maybe they will celebrate the third year. So for the future, Ralph, what should we do? What should we concentrate on? Because sometimes we Turks, a lot of concentrating on politics, but as we are tourism professionals, should be away from the politics. We should concentrate on the tourism. How should we improve our strengths and how should we focus on the new technologies? But what is your idea for the future? What should we do?
Well, I don't know so much about the new technologies because I'm 66, so I learn with my kids. But nevertheless, I think there are some ingredients which are important for people coming from outside and going to Istanbul. First of all, actually, we are a safe country. We are as safe as you are in Brussels or in Paris or London or wherever. Unfortunately, the press is always pushing things up, saying that we are an unsafe country. Definitely, it's not the case. And I can tell you, I'm 7 years here, 365 days a year, apart of my traveling. I have never felt unsafe so far. Maybe it's because my wife defending me. On the other side, I think we should also look at competitive destinations and countries, because Turkey is beautiful, but other countries are also beautiful. So we have to check out what are these people doing for, let's say, this kind of events like marriages, like MICE. We were talking about MICE business before. I think it's very important to compare what we do to other upcoming destinations. And one of the aspects will be also, in my opinion, the price. I not totally agree with my friend Tarek here next, because he said Istanbul is an amazing destination for shopping. I don't agree so much, because the prices are rising like if there's no tomorrow, and today you have other destinations which are delivering the same experience but at a different rate. So we have to be careful not to stretch the price. Fair deals, let's say, value for money, and what's the most important thing is the training of your people, because at the end of the day, these are people who are delivering the experience. You can have the best hotel in the world with gold and silver, whatever you want to, but if the people cannot deliver the guest experience, what is all worthwhile?
Yes.
So
totally
that's, I
agree.
think, is the most important thing. And training should go through the hotels. We are spending a hell of a money on training of our people. That's the reason why my colleagues, they pick me always my people there, you know. They say, okay, Ralph is paying the training, and then I have a safe job to get these people. But we have to really to be careful not to overstretch you know, the prices and inspire ourselves by other destinations. We are one of the top destinations, Turkey, definitely. There's a lot of things to offer. He repeated it already, that, you know, the history, etc., etc., but other people have this also. So don't think that you're the only one, the only star in the world here, and everybody has to come to Turkey. No, you have to deliver a guest experience which is different. And guest experience are delivered by people. That's my personal feeling quickly.
Actually, we have only 30 minutes that we can talk hours by hours. But ladies and gentlemen, also we want you to ask some questions while these valuable three gentlemen are here. It is really great because your questions are crucial. This is your expectation from the destination. So if you have a questions, it will be great. So as a last sentence, what do you want to tell these ladies and gentlemen to choose Turkey for their upcoming events, to choose Turkey as a destination? You told already great things, but Kai, if we start with you.
Well, I think we've made a lot of advertising for Istanbul. and for Turkey, of course. I think it's worth to visit. It's unique. It's history, pure history, actually. And you have all facilities around. In our case, we're the newest kid on the block, the newest luxury hotel, because you also talked about technology. Of course, we are reinventing a bit more into the MICE vision, because we've also have completely new equipment and these kind of things. That's for sure an advantage for big events and these kind of things. I was laughing when we ordered our chairs with USB chargers so that you can charge your phone while sitting in around, or we reinvent how we do food offerings. So we only do live cooking even for big events. So we go back from this old preparation model for big events that you have things in your shaving dishes. I think this is quite unique. I think it's unique for us as a hotel, but on the other hand, it's also unique for the destination. With the development of other hotels, quality levels going to rise, competition going to increase, and I think that all going to encourage all of us to even do better and to deliver.
Thank you. Thank you. Tarek?
You know, it's a very difficult question, by the way. And the only thing that comes to mind when you were asking the question is, you know, those athletes who plays on the Olympics, you know, it's not trying to beat only the competition, but it's always pushing yourself every minute to do a baby step better. And that's how the destination should always challenge itself to evolve to the next step. I just want to comment, when I was talking about Istanbul as a destination and Turkey as a destination, I'm so convinced with it still that, of course, you know, when you look at Paris, when you look at London, when you look at Milan, when you look at Hong Kong, you know, you look at Cairo, you look at all these exciting destinations, I'm still convinced that as a total package offering, Istanbul is quite unique. And I couldn't agree more with Ralph when he was talking about the people element, because the people element is crucial in our offerings, because it's all about people at the end of the day. You know, I was listening to the amazing presentation about India and the connectivity, and it's all about people. And yes, we have amazing people in Turkey, but with the more increasing supply every minute in Turkey in general, you know, we need more supply of passionate, quality, educated people, yes, which we do have, but because the demand is so much, you know, there should be means to increase the supply for the most important element, that is the people side. That's for sure.
Thank you. Ralph?
Well, nothing.
Nothing, okay.
No, it's, nothing really great to add. I think, you know, you have to experience the destination, and I can only talk for myself, let's say, and the region I'm taking care of. Istanbul is a hub. So most of the people also who come to Antalya and to Bodrum, we see this in our hotels, which we have in the region, they always want to experience also Istanbul. Istanbul is some kind of magic, you know. All the stars and everybody comes to Istanbul, they come also to Antalya, yeah, for sure, and they come to Bodrum, and they discover other destinations like Göcek, little villages outside from Bodrum city, like Gülük, sitting on the harbor with the fishermen. I think there's fancy things, but experiences is not experiencing always the most fanciest places. Mm-hmm. I think myself, if I'm traveling, I want to go out of these normal places. Maybe I live in a great hotel and so forth, but I would like to experience different things. That's the reason why we have, for example, a special person to take care, to discover the...
Some hidden places.
Yes, yeah, like the design quarters, you know, where the young designers are in Bodrum, it's in Istanbul. Some different places than the traditional work path, let's put it
Yeah.
this way. Otherwise, I cannot, I think, this, ladies and gentlemen, they're just
Yes.
some of them for the first time here in, most probably in Turkey. So, well, up to them to tell us how they feel.
I'm sure they have some questions, ladies and gentlemen. It will be their pleasure to answer your questions. Anybody has any questions?
Maybe this gentleman from
Yes,
the
a
mice
gentleman.
business.
Hello, my name is Oskari, coming from Finland, and my question, and I'm representing Meeting Package. My question for you would be, what do you see in MICE business next step as in developing the technology and developing the processes? In where and what would you develop in your hotel and in your business?
Well, so for me?
It's
him?
for all of you.
For all of us. Okay, I start.
Kai said you have the chairs with the USB chargers, but I believe you have something more and something bigger.
What I think it's always been a core business, hotel industry. You came from basically having a room, it evolved into having a shower. So the core business kind of remained, but it always went with technological improvements. So you always had to adapt. I mean, it started, remember, I don't know, 15 years ago, Wi-Fi was not an option. You worked with the cable and all of this. And I think these are all adaptations the hotel had to follow from a technological point of view. Is it an app today that all hotels do have? Yes, I think specifically if you talk MICE business, I think we have to become more technological. Is it from an organization point of view? For sure. However, I think our services are mainly related to people, and hopefully we will still remain to be a people's business and not become fully technological. I think that's a strength for us. It's a matter of personalization, I think also. But yes, I think the facilities around need to make a step forward to be more modern and maybe ease processes. That's what I think, roughly.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Where can I add something to this gentleman? Technology actually should not be our main preoccupation in our business. Technology we have in our hotels, the best of the best, and it evolves very quickly. Nevertheless, technology is there to make our life more easy and to spend more time with our guests. Because at the end of the day, the technology is not an experience. Technology is just only to give us more time to take care of our customers. That's for me. So I use it as a tool and not as a, let's say, the big, I don't know how you say it in English. I could say it in German or in Dutch, maybe. You're from Holland, right? Well, why you are in the MICE business? Why? You have a question or something? Or? Huh?
Later.
He has a question.
But I would just add one thing comes to mind now. You know, there is an app that keeps on popping up in all the applications that we go through, which is the instant translation app. I think, you know, in a couple of years, when it reaches its maturity, that would be the best ever, you know, not only in the MICE business, in the travel business in general, because you will be able to communicate and truly understand best and live the experience in any foreign country, in a foreign language, as if you are a local. So I'm just praying for that app to come quickly, you know, in its full extent, so that I can enjoy more remote destinations.
You meet your wife he meets his wife with a translator.
That will open more opportunities to enjoy life more.
There are quite some opportunities which has nothing to do with our business, actually.
But truly, you know, it's all about enjoying, at the end of the day, your journey. Be it MICE, be it weddings, be it on a business trip even. And you only experience best through the locals and the people that you are communicating with. So if there is such an app, that can bridge the gap when it comes to language, I think it will be fantastic.
Get the microphone.
Stefan.
Yes. Recently, we had a very scary development within the MICE area, initiated by Marriott, who told us that they will reduce commissions. And as everybody knows here, that commissions is something more than very interesting for event planners and wedding planners. What's your take on that? You know, you are in the segment where commissions generally are seen as part of the compensation package for the organizers. Do you think that's going to be a trend, or do you think it's just a momentum, Marriott will go back to that, and you have, as a competitor now, the advantage of not doing it?
Well, is it working, the thing? Very easy to answer, actually, at the end of the day. First of all, it's not only Marriott, it's also Accor and Hilton. All this, I call them brand supermarkets. These are brand supermarkets where you can find from 1-star to 5-star or 7-star, whatever you want there, yeah? We as Kempinski, I don't talk for Kempinski, we are a one-brand company. We only have luxury hotels. We don't have any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. We have only luxury hotels. So we have a corporate policy, and we believe ourselves that if event organizers do a good job, they should be remunerated, period. Nobody works for nothing. So if Marriott or Hilton or Accor decided not to pay commissions and whatever it is, I would say, ladies and gentlemen, bring the business to us. That's all. You know, don't go to them, bring the business to us. Everybody has to be getting money for what they're doing, so why should they reduce what normally you should pay them? I mean, this is a partnership. You know, it's for many people of us, for example, we are working with, it's a long-standing partnership over 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, some of them. So they do a good job, they should be paid. And I wait for you guys, huh? So make it happen. Get this guy's head, huh?
Thank you.
But I would add to what Ralph was saying. You know, business did not start today, you know, and there are business principles from the day one, you know, and it's all about trade. So if somebody is producing a product and another person is helping this person to market and sell this product, what is fair is that person who is assisting in marketing and selling this product is to get a return of his efforts, of his investment, and his time. So I totally agree with Ralph that no matter one brand or several brands companies can alter that basic rule of business. So you can always try, and I understand also where they come from, because I think they are trying to put a balance to the basic business foundation where maybe in some cases, you know, the percentage is above the fair size. So these efforts, I believe, are good just to bring the balance right. But to take it away, you know what? I don't think in my lifetime I will see it.
She wants to put a question.
Actually, we are pleased, as a last question.
Right. I'm Niyati from India. Most often we are, faced with challenges on how do we personalize experiences for large groups. Because I know that when we come to luxury hotels, a smaller group is easier to manage, but a large group and giving them a very personalized experience is some of the challenges. If there's anything that you would like to share with us on that.
Behalf of them, may I tell my experience? Sure. Because I was event organizer. As I told you, 800 guests of McKinsey, 400 couples, they come with their partners and wives. They stayed in 3 hotels. They are very demanding clients, very demanding. You know McKinsey, they really got personalized experiences. They come twice. It was directors meetings, and they also brought partners meeting to Istanbul. And Four Seasons, Kempinski, Ritz-Carlton, Shangri-La, they are all at the same age. And so this is really great advantage because these luxury hotels cannot have 2,000 rooms. But even 800 guests, I assure you, they got personalized services from moment they check in, from the moment they check out. So this was a life experience, but if you want to add something else, Kai?
I would like to add something for you because that's a very good question, by the way. I ask this question myself every time we have a big group, by the way. But I give you an example. For example, from India, I was in India a couple of weeks ago because we are there on this market since more than 6 years, as you might know, and we had the Mittal marriage. Now, Mr. Mittal is a very demanding person, and all the people and the guests he had, they were all very important people. So either you do it right or you do it wrong. Apparently we did it right because otherwise we would have no Indian marriage, and we make 30% of our marriages are Indian marriages. Nevertheless, where I want to come on, we could not take all the people. So we worked with our neighbor here present with the Four Seasons on the Bosphorus, which is our neighbor, and we tried with our communication. In this moment, you're not competitors anymore. First of all, you should never say bad things about your competitor because it always turns back to you. But we are, in this case, we are partners. So what we want is that this event is a successful one. We don't think about us mainly, we think about the people, because for them it's a huge and a very important moment also for their business relationship. So we work with Four Seasons. We had a very good partnership with them and also with some other ones, depends on which kind of people are invited and where they are supposed to be. Next time we work maybe with Kai and the Fairmont. Fairmont was not there. Kai, I promise
yes,
you,
of course.
Next time we bring you some business. Don't worry.
So, thanks.
I think you can.
I just want to add something in here in general. You know, at the end of the day, luxury is all about what exceptional wonders you create in such a short time for your guests. And these wonders are delivered by the people. And I'll take you to an experience when I was part of the opening team of the Four Seasons in Las Vegas, in Mandalay Bay. It's in the building of the Mandalay Bay, we have 6 floors in there. So we were preparing for the opening of the hotel, and the reception in the Four Seasons is arranged for 3 receptionists. And then on that day, Mandalay Bay was opening 1 week earlier. So just 2 days before their opening, I walked into their lobby and they had 60 stations for receptionists, 60, okay? And that was like an amazing shock to me, how you can manage, you know, 3,000 or 4,000 rooms, okay? And what's the difference? I believe it's all about ratios. So it depends on the size that you allocate your best team to serve that size. So if the ratio is right, you will still be able to create wonders with the right people. Yes. However, there is a fact of life as well, that if you want to have a dinner with your best friends, that dinner cannot be more than, I would think, 10. You know, I find it difficult to understand people saying, I'm inviting my best friends, I'm going to have 100 people. How can you spend, you know, quality time with 100 people over the course of 3 hours? It cannot be. Unless you can clone yourself for additional Nile copies, so each one of you will be seated with 10. And that's why I come to the concept of the ratios. If the ratios are right, with the right people, still you will be able to create these wonders.
Thank you, Tarek. Actually, they are missing the lunch if we continue. Today at this panel, actually, we try to explain how we are discovering Turkey from the eyes of the foreign general managers. Of course, your experience, 4 days, you will rediscover yourself by B2B meetings, participating in the workshops, panels. It is your experience. This 30 minutes slots, maybe you like us. We are funny. we are informative, we are experienced, but your experience is crucial. Thank to you all.
Thank you.
Kai.
Thank you.
And it is great pleasure for me, great honor for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank to you, Ralph. And so
Thank you very much.
Ralph and
thank you.
Kai are here till tomorrow, but he's leaving today. If you have any questions to Ralph and Kai, please. And
Or come to the swimming
Çok
pool.
teşekkürler.
they are the
My
organizers.
pleasure, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Teşekkürler.
Thank you very much, sir.